3rd and 12. They started this series from their 31, 33. Snead right to the open man. Bob Grimm at the 49. He curled in and found the crack. And Snead nailed him. Well, that gets the Giants going again.
Well, hello. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. And welcome to the Gridiron. Before we get started, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone out there who's been watching my videos. Thank you. If you can maybe give this video a thumbs up or possibly leave a comment below, maybe even share this video, it would mean so much to me. But anyway, just thank you so much for just taking time out of your day to check out this video. Thank you. Well, I mean, I got to give Joe Schoen a lot of credit. On a very small budget, he's been adding some, add players to the offensive line. Yesterday it was Max Garcia. Now, I mean, on a very small budget. Now, he's brought in, I mean, we're not saying he brought in Barry Sanders and Jerry Rice. Not saying that, okay, but he brought in a couple running backs. He brought in a tight end. He signed a returner, kick punt returner. Signed a couple, got some wide receivers. He brought in Webb and Taylor. He brought in a couple quarterbacks. He's bringing in a plethora of offensive linemen. It was kind of funny because one of his press conferences, he says, I think we got like 5 healthy offensive linemen. Which he was kind of telling the truth there, because you figure Parrott, Gates, and Lemieux were all coming off of surgery from last year. So so he was pretty much spot on about that. But he's been bringing in. I mean, he's been doing a lot on the offense, bringing in a lot of offensive guys. So. Now, of course, just because he's adding bodies, all right, it doesn't mean that we have a finished product. Okay, let's not forget, Dave Gettleman did bring in some people too, and I'm not saying Shane as well as Gettleman. I'm not saying they're going to be the same or nothing like that. I mean, I hope everybody he brings in is going to help us win many game, but let's try to be a little realistic here. I'm not saying we're going to have a top 10 offensive line or anything like that. I mean, you got to start looking, is that, why are these guys available? Why do these guys get let go? Sometimes there's a reason, so well, I'll just have to wait and see. I said we're not a finished product yet. All right, still got a ways to go, but so if I was kind of to go like summarize the players he's been bringing in, all right, we have with the guys he brought in, now we have like a mixture, okay, we got some young that we had, and he's brought in some old, and actually, I mean, not really old, I mean, I don't know, I know he's got a thing with the number 30 or something, but out of the 5 guys kind of that he's brought in, 4 of them are either 30 or one's going to be 30 in May. So, I mean, he's got like basically 4 out of 5 guys he brought in are 30 years old. And I'll go over that in a minute. But, so we got, the guys he's brought in. We got a little veteran presence now to go with our younger guys, and I'll go over the younger guys we got, obviously, But, a lot of them affordable. Sometimes, as I said, there's a reason why, okay? But, I mean, obviously nobody's making more than $8.8 million, which is obviously Andrew Thomas, right? So he's the one making the big bucks. But, I mean, other than that, we really don't have, Glowinski is averaging around 6. So, well, when Andrew Thomas gets paid, he's going to be making well into double digits. I mean, I could see him making, obviously, possibly close to 20. But that's a couple years down the road. But anyway, So when you got your offensive line, you don't have anybody making double digits as far as salary. You know, I can't say you're doing good, but I mean, you know, you're saving your team a lot of money. I mean, but sometimes, you know, when you're playing it cheap, sometimes you get what you pay for. But you know, I mean, everybody else is below, you know, well below Andrew Thomas is 8.8, and Glowinski's basically like about $6 million a year. All right, and many of the Giants brought in, you know, that he brought in, which is huge. Okay, you know, is veteran presence. Okay, but versatility, which is very, very important. All right, so he brought in Max Garcia, who is who's 30. All right. That's going to be a little theme going on here, okay? Last season, he had 11 starts, right? He did pretty well. I mean, when I was reading, he only allowed 4 sacks, all right? 17 total pressures, all right, and 11 starts. I mean, so you're looking at 1.5 pressures, or basically like 3 pressures every 2 games. And that was in 808 snaps. Okay, he gave up 17 pressures. That ain't bad. No, that's not too bad at all. He played right guard and center last season. All right, in his career, he's played left guard, right guard, and center. Versatility, very, very important. Okay, a little bit of a veteran presence. Okay, affordable, and versatile. So I mean, because we don't know. Yeah, we got a lot of question marks here. We're kind of thinking that Feliciano might be. I mean, you got probably Glowinski is going to be the right guard. Feliciano has probably got the inside scoop to the center position, but you don't know. Maybe Lemieux come back and, you know, he be healthy, but you know, maybe he'll be the left guard like he was the first quarter of the Bronco game last year. I think he had 17 snaps. Did very well in those 17 snaps, but it was only 17 snaps. So, I mean, there's nothing going to be given to him or whatever. But I mean, you know, so we really don't know who the right tackle is going to be. Not sure exactly who the left guard is going to be, and you know, and also that too. I mean, you know, we have to for the draft. I mean, more and more I'm hearing, you know, a lot of people seem to think that there's a possibility Ekwonu or Neal might be there at number 5. So if that's the case, you know, that might be one of those chances that you run the card up to the commish. There you go. You know, so then you might have, you know, your left tackle and your right tackle. You might have your bookends, okay, for the next 10 years or so. So that would be a very, very nice start. All right, but once again, you know, he's very, very flexible, Max Garcia, right? Now, we still might draft a center, all right, but now, at least now we have, you know, like maybe Nick Gates now. You're not sure about Nick Gates because he had a little setback. He had a rod in his leg, and he had a little setback with that, but we got Garcia, got Feliciano, got some other guys that had a little bit of center in them too, right? So, at least now, you know, we got some flexibility because, I mean, before we brought in Feliciano or Garcia and all like that, the only center I think we had, period, was Gates. Because Billy Price is a free agent, right? And it's another one of those things that, you know, freaking just drives you crazy. We traded. We had to get a center. We got Billy Price. He did a nice job for us. You know, it wasn't all pro material and all like that, but we plugged him in there. What was it? Week 2, I think it was, right? Against the Washington football team, and he just, yeah, Billy Price, there's a center position. We'll see you at the end of the year, and that's what he did. He was there. You know what I mean? You know, he had some ups, he had some downs. Okay, a lot of the Giants on the offense had some ups and downs there too, but all in all, you can't complain about what he did. Now we had to trade away B.J. Hill. Another thing is that, you know, what drives you a little bananas about that, we weren't never going to re-sign B.J. Hill because, you know, good for him, freaking very happy for him. I mean, I'm all bummed out because he's not a Giant anymore, but he got the frick out of New York. He went to Cincinnati. He played in the Super Bowl, didn't win, but he got paid. He got a little contract from Cincinnati, so good for him. But the thing is, now we traded away B.J. Hill to get Billy Price, and now we don't have either one. It's like with Keenan Crossan. We traded a 6th-round draft pick to get Keenan Crossan on our team, so we don't have the 6th-round pick anymore. Keenan Crossan played 1 year with us, and now Keenan Crossan, I think, signed a 3-year, $10.5 million contract with the Dolphins. So now we don't have the draft pick, and we don't have the player. I mean, it's like, yeah, it's just another one of those things that just drives you freaking batty. But but at least now we got a lot of guys who can play guard. We got quite a few guys who want to play in center. So, as I said, then we have the draft coming up as well too. Then you got Jamil Douglas, who is 30. He's been on he's been like he does not have a lot of experience. Okay. But he's been on practice squads. He's been promoted. He's been released. He's been signed future contracts. He's been waived. He's been re-signed almost his whole career. I mean, which started in 2015. He was drafted by the Dolphins in 2015. He was on the Bills' active roster last year. Okay, he was brought up, I think, sometime in November to the team, but then they waived him on December 11th. Then the Washington football team picked him up 2 days later on the 13th. All right. Now he's a Giant. Okay. So I mean, he does not have. I mean, he's got, I don't want to say experience, but he's been around since 2015. Okay. Does not have a lot of tread on. Tread wore off the tires. Right? He's got plenty of tread on it. Right. So I mean, for being 30 years old. Right. But 2020 he played left guard and center. Okay. 2019, he played left guard, right guard, and center. Flexibility there. And 2015, you got to go back to 2015, okay, because last year he didn't play. I don't think he had any snaps at all last year. So he got what I saw, snaps. He had 2020, 2019, and 2015, he played right guard and center, okay? Now, he's depth, all right, but don't expect too much from him, all right? I mean, if he was that good, or just somebody kind of nice, he wouldn't have been, waived, signed, promoted, demoted, futures contract, right? So, then we got Matt Gano, all right, or it's Gano. He played in 21 games in his career, okay? He only started in 4. Okay, last season he did not play. He had surgery. Right, he was so he's the rare one. He's only 26. Okay, 2020 he played left tackle, right tackle, and left guard. 2019 he played right guard and left guard. Okay, once again, versatility and affordability. I don't know if I'm sounding like a car commercial or something, but he can play multiple positions. He's played left tackle, left guard, right tackle, and right guard. The only thing he hasn't played has been center. So, I mean, once again, versatile. All right. Now, as I said, don't expect a whole boatload out of him, but, we got some depth. Yes, we do. Then we got John Feliciano. How old is he? He's 30. Now, familiarity with the Bills, okay, because, he was with the Bills. So, Bobby Johnson, the offensive line coach, Dable, Shane, know what kind of guy he is. Okay, now he's been around for a while. All right, played quite a few years with the Raiders. All right, now he's got some flexibility. 2021 he played left guard, right guard, and center. 2020 he's played center, left guard, and right guard. 2019 was right guard and center. 2018 left tackle and left guard. 2017 he was left guard. 2016 left guard, left tackle, and center. In 2015 he was right guard. So he's played frickin' almost everywhere. All right. He said he's really, really, really looking forward to trying to play center. Right. So hopefully the Giants give him a good shot at it, and if he makes it, good for him, because he said I think he really, really is looking forward to the challenge of playing center, which is really, really good. Once again, he's a veteran presence. Okay. He's affordable. He's probably he's not maybe in the long-term future of the team, but, we got Feliciano, Gano, you got Douglas, Garcia. Flexibility, So that's very, very important. Then you got Mark Glowinski. In May, he's going to be, I think it's May. He's going to be 30. He's probably the only one who will be, who the most expensive one out of all of these guys. He signed a 3-year contract for $18.3 million. All right. Now, almost like all the rest, he's 30, or who's going to be 30. He's played pretty much guard, okay, his whole career. All right. So he's probably going to want to be in our right guard. All right. So, he doesn't have too much of the flexibility in him, but he's probably one of the best that we've brought in. Okay, as you can tell by the contract, having to pay him $6 million a year. Okay, so he's probably one of the better ones. So exactly as I said, who's going to be the left guard? You don't know. Feliciano may have a foot up, as far as being maybe the center. Glowinski might be the right guard. Who's going to be our tackle? You don't know. Andrew Thomas will be the left tackle. But then I said, then we got the draft. Don't be surprised if we maybe take somebody good in the first or second round, to plug in there, and then maybe somebody for maybe a little bit of depth, maybe later on, because we got 9 picks. Certainly bring in maybe somebody for some depth, somebody young, with some depth. All right, so that's always a possibility, because now we got I think it was if I read 13 guys. All right, and I said that's not including the college draft or the college free agent draft. All right, so we're gonna have all these guys on his list ain't gonna be here. All right, we got Devery Hamilton, who I think has 0 snaps. All right, he's only 24. He's a tackle. All right. Now, of course, you have 3 young guys. The 3 guys coming off of surgery. Of course, you got Lemieux, Parrott, and Gates. All right. Parrott was like a ACL reconstructive surgery, I believe it was. Gates, has got had that horrible injury, right? And then the partially torn patellar tendon, I believe it was, for Shane Lemieux. So he's coming off of that injury too. So we got those 3 young guys, right? I said, but we got Devery Hamilton, all right, who's only 24. All right, you don't know if he's going to wind up being around. Ben Bredesen, who's only 23, played guard for us last year, did a nice job, but he had a problem with his hand. His hand was injured. Corey Cunningham, we re-signed him. He's 27. He's a tackle. Wes Martin was not super spectacular last year. He's 26. We had him in there at the left guard position. He was not super spectacular last year. Shane Lemieux is 25. He'll have a good chance at possibly reclaiming the left guard position. Hopefully he comes back from the surgery and everything's okay. I haven't heard any setbacks at all or anything, so hopefully he'll have a chance, of becoming the left guard. He did very well in the 17 snaps that he played, but I said, once again, it was only 17 snaps that he played last year. Then you got Matt Parrott, who'll be 25, They didn't want to put him in last year over Nate Solder. So Rob Sale didn't want to put him in there. So he just didn't seem like he was going to be, It seemed he didn't have the fire in him. You gotta have a little nastiness. You gotta have an attitude. When you're playing offensive line, and apparently Rob Sale really wasn't seeing much in that. So, Parrott's supposed to be could possibly be a nice right tackle, but I guess he's still a work in progress. So you have no idea what's going to go on with Matt Parrott. Then of course, you got Nick Gates, who's 26, who can play center. He even played tackle. He played center. He played guard. Right, but he had. I read something. He had like a setback, I think it was last week, with one of the rods in his leg. So don't even know if he'll be able to play this year at all. If he can he play up to NFL pro caliber? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see with him. And of course, then you got Andrew Thomas. All right, so you got these 8 guys, the 5 guys we just brought in, so we got at least 13 linemen now. Okay, so not including the draft and the college, the free agent college draft as well too. So I mean, all these guys here, are not going to be on the final roster. Some might go to the practice squad. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I mean, it's don't expect the world, guys. I mean, because it's tough enough even when you bring in some real good guys to all of a sudden just go out there and just say, okay, go. They got to play together. They got to gel together. You got to know the strengths and the weaknesses, on each play. What a guy's, what a guy's supposed to do, what he may not be able to do, and it's going to take time. I mean, and then if the worst thing is, of course, and if you get what we had, some injuries, that's going to make it even worse. And then the thing is that, there's the bad salary cap situation we're in. We can't bring in guys and sign somebody for like a 4-year deal. Okay, we signed this guy for 4 years. Boom, he's our left guard. We brought in a center for 4 years. Boom, he's our center. So then, okay, we know these 5 guys, they're all contracted. They're all here for 3 or 4 years or whatever. Okay, go out and work together and get better. I mean, you got all these guys coming in from all different teams, and some of the guys we have still on the roster have no experience. And then you're going to put them all together and hopefully they work out well. I mean, if you can get an offensive line together and they can stay healthy, it might take them halfway through the season before they start gelling. And then the problem is that a lot of these guys are on 1-year contracts. At the end of the year, they're gone. I mean, you're going to bring in more guys. I mean, so that's the way it is. But I said, but if we have Andrew Thomas, if we can draft somebody else at right tackle, then maybe you have 2 pieces to the puzzle. And I said, maybe if you draft somebody else, maybe this year, and maybe not, you might have Glowinski for 2-3 years. If you can start bringing in more and more pieces, and then, if you can get, like, as I said, like 4 or 5 guys that are under contract for multiple years, and that, as long as they're not injured or anything like that, they can go out there and work together and gel together. That's what you need. I mean, just bringing guys in off of squads, this, free agents, all this and everything like that. What we have here, we got depth. All right, we got affordability, we got versatility, we got some veteran presence. But do we have winnability? That's going to remain to be seen. Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo!